No one is born an atheist. Atheism is a worldview arrived at by very particular people, sensing types. Science is for sensing types. The first step of the scientific method is to use your senses to observe the world. Note that the first step of the scientific method is not to think rationally and logically about the world, the method of thinking types. It's not to emotionally relate to the world and others, the method of feeling types. And it's not to use visionary leaps to comprehend reality, the method of intuitive types. Thinking types, feeling types, and intuitive types all arrive at metaphysical, religious, and spiritual worldviews in one way or another. Of course, these three types arrive at radically different conclusions. Thinking types do not have a concept of God that has anything in common with the idea of God peddled by feeling types. Nevertheless, the three types all agree that there is something beyond the physical world. Why? Because they are not obsessed with their physical senses and what these physical senses detect. To limit yourself to sensory data alone is an extraordinarily narrowing and dangerous step to take. Yet this is what defines science, hence atheism and nihilism, which go with science. Science wants to and does arrive at the conclusion that reality is meaningless, purposeless, pointless, and random, the opposite of any kind of religious, spiritual, or metaphysical worldview, which is always teleological. Of course, you cannot observe any meaning, purpose, or point in the world just by looking at it. You have to go beyond the merely observable to make contact with meaning, purpose, and point. All humans do this, other than the sensing types. This is why we must conclude that there is something seriously wrong with sensing types, i.e., atheists. They lack this ability to step beyond the senses, and that absolutely cripples them. It does profound damage to their intellect. No intellectual privileges his senses over his intellect. Duh. Some people have no internal monologue. Some people have no theory of mind. Some people have a fantasia. Atheists lack the means to see beyond their senses. With regard to the metaphysical, religious, and spiritual order, they are deaf, dumb, and blind. They simply lack the capacities to overcome their sensory prison. Sensing types cannot transcend their senses, and that's why that can have no access to the transcendent order. These people are very limited people, restricted to the immanent order and unable to comprehend transcendence. Isn't that so sad? What monochrome, tedious lives these people have. One ought to feel so sorry for atheists. Is it not pathological behavior to deny meaning, purpose, and point, to deny free will, to dismiss the reality of mind, to ignore the unconscious and characterize consciousness as some weird and inexplicable or emergent phenomenon of material activity? Atheists deny their own free will and that of everyone else. They deny their own minds and those of everyone else. They say that we are either deterministic machines, the old scientific view, or indeterministic casino creatures, the new scientific view. They say that existence randomly comes from non-existence. They even deny causation and replace it with statistics and probabilities. Is any of this symptomatic of a healthy mind and healthy thinking? Or does it denote nothing but irrational devotion to the limited, fallible, unreliable, delusional human senses? Are sensing types on the spectrum? Do they have a serious lack in relation to their capacity to think, feel, and intuit? Are they very strange people who can almost be regarded as soulless people? People with souls are innately metaphysical, religious, and spiritual. People without souls are innate atheists. To be a body-focused sensing type has the functional effect of cutting off a person's connection to their soul, which is non-sensory and transcendent. And to make these people atheists and nihilists committed to rubbishing reality as some meaningless way of passing the time. It's a wonder all of these people don't kill themselves, but that decision would require non-sensory capacities that these people intrinsically lack. Catch 22. Should we have a special day each year, Atheist Day? to commiserate with the inability of atheists to engage with transcendent reality, which is, of course, mathematical reality, as per the ontological mathematics of the Illuminati. Do the math.